Hi guys. So now we have moved on to the next question, which is average salaries. We'll quickly move on to the question and try to understand what is being asked. So it says compare each employee's salary with the average salary of the department. Okay. Output these columns, department first name salary, along with the average salary of the department. What are we given? We are given one data frame, which is employee. In SQL terms, this consider this as one table, which is the employee table. So imagine something like, let me open up a blank sheet. Okay, so you have employee IDs, more description of the employee, and then you have department. So imagine something like you have, let's say, employee ID, you have department, and you have individual employee salaries. So let's say employees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have department accounting, accounting, marketing, sales, and sales. Okay. Um, let's say the average salary is 10,000. I mean, the individual salary is 10,000. Here it's 20,000. Okay. So for the accounting department, the average salary would be 15,000. Okay. Because this is not so the column D that you see over here, this is individual salaries, individual salary of employee 1 and 2. This is the average salary of the department, and we need to display it across the employee, uh, and if they belong to this particular department. Let's say for marketing, the average salary is 20,000. Sorry, the salary for this employee is 20,000, and since there's only one employee, the average salary is also 20,000. Let's say sales is uh, 12,000 and the other employee is 14,000. So the average salary would be 13,000. Okay. So ideally, so what's being asked here is somewhere around these lines. We have this is our given input. Okay. I'll just mark it as yellow. And this is not given to us, but we can calculate out of our given data. So everything in green needs to be calculated and everything in yellow is given to us, and this is somewhat of an output what is being expected. I'll move back to the question. So we need to compare each employee salary with the average salary of the department. So although they are asking us to compare over here, they don't actually expect us to compare and give us a result like true or false, because if you look at the second line, you just need to output the name of the employee, department of the employee, salary of the employee, and the average salary of the department in which that employee works. Okay, this is our table, and that's it. Those are our inputs. Now let's move ahead and code this. So how do we start, right? First of all, we would want to how would I do this is I'll create two tables, right? So one is our existing table, then I want to create another table which gives just the departments, like something like this, or rather something like this. Okay, and then you, maybe I'll just remove this, I'll remove this. Gives me a unique number of items for each department, and then I get the average salary of the department across it. So I'll go by creating two tables. So I'm just trying to visualize things over here. So this is my existing table. This is the new table that I would be creating, or new data frame, and then I would like to merge both of these data frames. You can see you can merge on the basis of department, because department is that common column over here. Okay, fine. So now my next immediate goal is to create this particular table. How do I do that? I need to group by my employee table, right? So my employee has a list of all, let's say, 5 employees. I need to group by on what? On department. So that's the next thing I'll do here. So I say you have the employee table. I need to group by. Group by is the pandas function. Okay, I'll pass in an input parameter on which a column I need to group by it, which is department. Okay, so I group by my department. I'll save this in a data frame called df. Okay, now what I need is I've grouped by, right, but we also need a calculated column which is the average of the salary or mean of the salary. So salary is a column. I'll put that in square brackets. Salary dot mean. Okay, mean is a built-in function. Now let's see, what do I get? Okay, okay, I get the salaries as per the three departments that we have. One thing that you'd notice is I need to put in another function called reset index, and I'll explain you why do we need to do this. Now just observe the output as soon as I put in this function called reset index. Okay, and you start seeing the department column as well. So what happened here is this column department, right? This got considered as an index and it got indexed, so you don't see it in the output. Now, when I did a reset index, what it did is it created its own index columns with values starting from 0, 1, 2. So my index got reset. Initially, this was my index by default. Now, since I have reset the index, this has become the index. So you don't see the index in the output, but department is now not an indexed column, but it is your first column. It's your zeroth column, and your average salary is your first column, which is why I used reset index, right? You observe the outputs, right? Without the reset index, if I run, department got indexed. Since I reset the index and run it again, department, uh, the index became 0, 1, 2, 3, and department came out of the index. Okay, fine. So now I have, what do I have now, right? I have this particular table. I achieved this. Now, second thing I want to do is I want to merge or join these two. So how do I do that? There are built-in functions. So I say df equals to oh wait, even before I merge, right? I mean, okay, fine. Let's start merging it. Merge result equals pd. It's an alias for pandas. Pd dot merge. Okay. So merge is again a built-in function. We need to merge on two tables, which is employee df. I We should use the term data frames over here. On, where do we merge it on? Now, if you notice, I didn't use a left on and right on. I just used on because the column names are same over here. It's department, and even in the new uh, table or data frame that we created, it's department. So I can simply use on department, and I need to pass in a parameter which wherein I specify whether it's a left merge or a left join or a right join. So this is a left join or an inner join or whatever. Okay, so I got my merge results. Now, there's just one thing I noticed. Mm, Fine. I mean, all we need to do is display this merged result, but mm, we don't need this merged result, right? Would have like all the columns, which is like all these 10 columns in the table. We don't need all these 10 columns in the output. All we need is department, first name, salary, and the average salary. So merge result. Within this, we need four. Yep. The first one we need is department. The second one we need is first name. Third we need is salary. So what's the salary? It's called salary. Okay. And the fourth we need is average salary. But just notice one thing. This this table that we created, right, and we merged, we call it salary underscore y. The underscore y got appended, and we have two salary columns now. So one is a salary, the original employee salary, which is this, and the other is this average salary. But notice we haven't named it yet. Both columns are still called salary. So what Python has done automatically is named this as salary dot x and this as salary dot y. What I need to do is I can quickly this salary column, right? I can rename it as average salary. And how do I do that? It's a simple code. Um, we have a function called rename function. So what are the arguments that this function needs is the column names, the earlier column name, the existing one, and the new that we would like to rename. So columns equals salary AVG. Let me name it AVRAGE salary, and this column needs to go in single inverted commas. So just for better reading of this particular code, let me call it average salary, and let's run this. Okay, let me check the solution. It says solved. So here's the solution, these 4 lines of code. Okay guys, thank you.